People of Reddit, what was your biggest oh shit moment? Realizing after getting home from my first week at a new job at corporate headquarters that I left my wallet with my new company credit card, license, personal credit card, and $100 cash in the back of the seat on the airplane. I got it back, but it took a month. I had to tell my new boss that I already lost the company card, which had a rounded $30k limit. Good times. It's more of an oh crap that happened to me. I was having a standard cardiology test where they were trying to get my heart to recreate an event that had previously happened. My heart wasn't cooperating, and the doctor told the nurse to put something in my fourth to raise my heart rate in hopes of recreating the event. I immediately felt like I had just run at full effort for 10 minutes and my heart was beating so hard and so fast, and I assume out of rhythm, that I began to black out. The nurse and the doctor started yelling something that I honestly can't remember, and then a crash cart was brought in, and they gave me something else that brought my heart rate down. I have episodes of tachycardia and bradycardia as well as having a sinus arrhythmia and periodic atrial fibrillation. Edit. After googling the crap out of this, because I honestly hadn't thought about it until today, and forgot what it was called, I believe it was a tilt table test and the drug the nurse put in my fourth was isoproterenol, and she either gave me too much, or I had a bad reaction to it or both. Edit DOS. It sounds like some of you have had fun experiences with this test. I hope you're all doing alright. Good night y'all. Before I was properly diagnosed I was walking around with a tumor blocking my spinal canal. One day I was coming home from getting lunch, and I was wearing those big, platform, orthopedic flip-flops you can buy. Because all the orthopedists and podiatrists I saw told me my leg pain and foot numbness were because of my flat feet. Thanks guys. Seriously like 2 inches thick. Anyway I stick my key in the door and all of a sudden realize that my left leg is missing. Like, data deleted, no longer there, nothing. I remember going, what the fool or crap as I toppled over and cracked my ankle because of the flip-flops. Thankfully the feeling in my leg came back just in time for me to feel the hideous crack and almost vomit all over my doorstep from the pain and shock. That was my biggest oh crap moment of my life. Partially because I fell and hurt myself so badly, partially because it caught me so off guard, and also, mainly because I'd never felt anything like that before. It wasn't like a leg going numb when you sit on it for too long. It was like my leg wasn't there at all and never had been. Scariest moment of my life by far. Edit. If you're a brave soul, a genuinely curious person, or a nurse/med student, and want to see pics of the tumor, here's my MRI. Biking down a short but steep hill doing 30 miles per hour to keep up with traffic. Driver about 3 cars ahead of me stops abruptly at a crosswalk. I lay onto my brakes, but feel my wheels start to slip. Instantly had that sense of time slowing down to the point where I could make reasoned and considered decisions. Looking ahead, I could run into the car ahead of me, attempt to shoot the gap between the cars and the curb, but also risk hitting the pedestrian in the crosswalk, or I could go down on the grassy verge. Decide that the last option looks best for everyone, but then realize that there's a tree in my way. Managed to roll into the fall, so that my shoulder and rib cage took the impact, didn't even hit my head. Ended up a little battered, especially since I jammed my pinky in the ground, but after sitting around to recover my breath I managed to ride home not too much the worse for wear. No broken bones and I only had to take 1 day off of work, though it was a while before my finger wasn't sore and stiff. When my blood work came back, and my GP stared at it for a long while, then said he would refer me to a hematologist, but then he threw his arm around my shoulder and said, "I'll pray for you." He had never said or done anything remotely like that. Felt like I was in the twilight zone. Edit. Sorry no I'm not dead. I have autoimmune diseases and they mistook it for some kind of blood cancer because everything about my blood was just wrong. Doctor scared my ass off very badly. I guess it's kind of ironic in a comment about my doctor being unnecessarily ominous that I neglected to mention that I'm okay. I'm now just chronically ill on lots of medicine. 3rd year in high school, we went on a bike trip around a lake. Some of us on tandems, I was on a solo bike. We arrive at a very steep part of the road. Everyone happily goes down. Most of fast and halfway through a big girl and a dude on the tandem slide slam into the ground right in front of me. I pull the brake, but it's too late. Oh crap, my head is bashed in. Also the girls. Dude's hand got fucked up as well. Fun trip. I was playing volleyball for my university. We were at state, and in our third game, a girl on the other team went to spike, and I went up to block. She touched the net, so the referee blew the whistle. I relaxed midair, cause yeah no, muscle memory telling me the whistle meant it was our point and I could chill for a second, and came down, lost my footing, rolled and broke my ankle. I had to push myself out of the way, so my teammate who also jumped, didn't land on me, and then I tried to get up, put pressure on my ankle and immediately fell over, and felt the pain. Oh shit moment. Recently I've been started on Zoloft for anxiety and depression. I started it last week, and took my first dose on Friday night. I went to bed the same way I went to sleep every night before that. Afraid and feeling like crap. I woke up, and every thought I had was gone. My mind was blank. I had no anxiety, no rushing thoughts, no panicked ideas, no worries. I had to force any thoughts into my head. I sat up in my bed, and went oh crap, this is what normal people feel like. It's been a week, and I'm not happy. I'm not sad either though. It's pretty neutral. But it's miles better than the hell I was going through. Some network engineers will laugh at me for this. So about 7 to 8 years back, one of our servers was getting hammered from an external IP. No clue about it, or why. We figured it was a lone DOS attempt attack. So, we decided we were just going to filter that IP at our edge, and call it good. So I put in the policy to block the traffic, and Juniper engineers will laugh, and I forgot to add the else permit, which means to allow all other traffic, except that one IP on this policy. I saved the change, thankfully with an auto rollback command for 2 minutes later this would revert the config back unless saved again. Our entire production data center disappeared completely blocking all traffic. Thankfully 2.5 minutes later, after the configuration reverted, it came back online. I went straight to my boss's office and told him exactly what happened. Between trying not to laugh and trying to chastise me, he said okay, you learned what not to do today. You admitted it clean and clear. I know it was a mistake, crap happens. Do not do it again. I had several beers that night. Magny cause, racetrack in France. Racing my stock Kawasaki ZX6R in 2004. Back straight. Pulling around 260, 270 kilometers per hour. I went for the front brake. Nothing. Pulled the lever completely to the handlebar. Pumped once, twice. Didn't pump a fourth time, and ditched the bike at maybe 240 kilometers per hour. Bike continued straight on, buried itself into the tire rule, to launch itself over it, right into the air fences, exploding into a million pieces. Nothing could be salvaged, even the crankcase was busted. The right front brake caliper was missing one bracket pad, one of the holding pins got itself loose, and worked itself out. I got off with some burn marks through my leathers and some mini bruises. Had my first show on the college radio station. I had a pretty sweet 11-to-1 show that was played through the student center on campus. I played some songs, I got on the air, and gave some banter, name-checked the artists, read the sap, and started playing the next song. But the song didn't start playing. I couldn't hear it at all. So I was idly troubleshooting what was going on, and how I fucked up the radio bank. I probably got more and more flustered. The door to the studio flew open, and the station manager walked in. He stared me down as he approached, reached over my shoulder, and punched the monitor button on the console. That turned the mic off, and started playing the music in the studio again. Then he turned around and walked out. I never again had a show that wasn't between the hours of midnight and 6 AM for the rest of my career. I honestly don't know what I said while that mic was open, but I'm pretty sure there was at least one oh shit and probably a few what the fuck s. Love replaying that in my mind every time I start to feel good about myself. Every year my family goes to beach, and my two brothers shark fish from the beach in the evening/night. One of them kayaks a line or two with bait a couple hundred yards out, then paddles back in, and they wait patiently for a shark to bite. One evening most of us were back at the beach house, and my sister-in-law storms in. Bob was taking another line out, and flipped the kayak. We all run out to the beach. It's crazy dark already. I get out there and ask my other brother, where is he? I don't know. That was the oh crap moment. He had a life jacket, but he was in completely darkness with potentially a giant hook stuck in him, surrounded by fish guts. Luckily he made it back in okay. The idiot swam back with the half-sunken kayak instead of just leaving it. I don't think I've ever seen anyone more tired than when he collapsed on the beach.